Located on Cumbo Road, Hedgesville High School's Future Farmers of America has a growing farm. There it sells and donates fresh vegetables, eggs, meat, honey, and more. Students also built many of the structures themselves. For around 3 years, the Hedgesville FFA has partnered with different organizations like Berkeley County Meals on Wheels by donating fresh produce such as potatoes, carrots, onions, kale, lettuce, beets, radishes, and so much more. These donations help people in the community as Meals on Wheels provides 1,000 meals every week to people in need. However, FFA doesn't just teach students about farming, students also learned about the business side of things as they sell what they grow. Back in early May, the FFA invited Berkeley County School Superintendent Dr. Ryan Sachs, Deputy Superintendent Matthew Woods, and Berkeley County Meals on Wheels Executive Director Diane Waldron to come and see what it is that they're working on and to ask questions.
It's a lot of hard work, but it all pays off. So, how many pounds did you plant? About 750. Wow. So, of seed potatoes, so we should have pretty good yield this year off of it. So, but we went through, plowed all the rows, and everything's done by the kids. You know, we don't have, people don't come in and do it. It's all done by the kids during the ag classes. So these kids are learning how to do it. It's a great thing to, you know, be able to sustain your own food and then give back to the community is great. So, yeah, so this is that. And maybe, hopefully, I mean, I don't know for sure, but we can always expand this, you know, if it ever needed to be. So we got plenty of good amount of room. So I was going to say. Okay. No, so that's actually with the construction right here.
That's what I thought. Okay.
That's where they put all their fill dirt. So hope eventually.
But when it gets moved out, then you can. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So actually, we're planning on having. We have pigs. We don't have pigs right now, but we normally raise pigs. We sell sausage, ham, bacon, a lot of them. Pig process. Okay. We have goats right now. We have chickens. They're right there. Hopefully, we're wanting to put cows on the field with the barns and everything else. Fence this in, and that way we'll have cattle as well, and then we're going to process them. So we'll have fully producing farm. Yeah.
My great grandfather was a dairy farm.
Yep. So, it's pretty exciting. No, go ahead.
I'd say some of the kids that attend our ag classes don't always have access to have animals at home. Okay. And so getting them up here and giving them the hands-on experience to be able to mess with an animal, be able to care for the animal, the husbandry behind it, we do vaccines up here, we do home training on goods, all the care that they need to do. They measure out their feed rations themselves, they figure it out what they need to grow to sustain with that animal and what we need to feed them. So they tell us how much feed we need to be giving that animal for us to be able to buy it for them.
So, like with this stuff, so we actually have drip irrigation running in here.
Yeah.
So it makes it super nice. It's like weed control, you know. Mm-hmm. So it makes it very nice. So actually throughout the summer we came in, and they still will come in during the summer. Okay. They'll volunteer their time. They're not getting, and they come in. They'll take the plants, you know, yield the plants from it, and then clean them, and probably we can give it to the rescue mission and Meals on Wheels and stuff. But yeah, the drip lines we put in. That's kind of a self-taught thing. None of us really knew how to do it, so we're trying to figure it out, but it worked out really well. So then we put the plastic down over it. So, and then, as you can see, we could probably walk over there. That's where we have our tomatoes and stuff in that one. And it's also ran off drip irrigation. Okay. So, this is a really good thing. These high tunnels are super nice. You can close down the sides in the winter, you know. Then in the summer, open them up, and the plastic, you know, makes everything grow 10 times better. So, you know, really reflects the sun. So.
It lets us plant a little bit sooner so that we have crops for longer. Okay. Because the way we plant in sections so that we have yields that come out in different time periods. Yes, and then so when the first one comes up, we'll plant it again so it'll come up after the third one comes up. So it just is a continual produce for the companies.
Very good. Yeah. We got some beans, and then that's cucumbers right there. So this will be really nice too. You know, it gives us variety. Give the plant. And with the drip line, you've got these valves, so it's not like you have to run all. When you have a sprinkler system, it's going to water everything the same amount. With this drip irrigation, if the tomatoes need more water, I can shut the valves off, you know, and give the tomatoes more water and So it makes everything healthier, grow healthier. They get the right amount of water they need, which makes it very nice. So, and we'll be able to replant this, and it'll make it. We should be able to replant the fourth process in about midsummer.
Yeah, and they're also learning about vertical growing this year.
Yeah, set beside Dr. Woods. Beside Dr. Woods.
So we're learning about vertical growing this year. Got it? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool. Vertical growing this year, it lets us plant more plants because we're going upwards, but it also increases your productivity because like with cucumbers, if they get on the ground and they get those yellow spots, that part of the cucumber isn't going to be very good for very long. So with vertical growing, they're going to do a floater weave across these so that the plants come upwards so that our yield never touches the ground, it doesn't get fat rot or anything else like that. So it's just better for the consumer that way as well. Yep, and then the string method there with the tomatoes, it cuts down cost on what we would need in order to be able to hold them up so that the plant doesn't start to tip once the fruit starts to produce off of it, since it gets so heavy.
And we built all these trellises, and so it's interesting. You learn a lot, that's for sure. And then we have goats, and the goats are mainly for to like teach kids. If if they like to change their feed, if we give them a little bit more corn, how much weight do they gain, and all that. So they're learning nutrients on animals, their digestive systems. They're learning all about it. It's a really great thing. We actually just had a bunch of chicks in the shop, and we just moved them out. I don't know the exact.
There's 11 on this side, and then there's 18 on the other.
18 on the other. And we're constantly hatching chickens and having the eggs in the feeder box and then hatch them ourselves.
Incubation?
Yeah, incubation. We teach the kids that. We butcher the chickens when they stop laying, and then we'll sell chicken. So it's a really cool thing. You get to learn how to butcher the chickens and parts of the bird, how to cut meat, so all that. And then if you come around to this side here, this is our onion field, and this is the first time we've actually ever tried to do drip irrigation outside. And as you can tell, the different growth rates. Yeah. So we've been planting them at different times.
To let it rotate.
Yeah, so we'll have a rotation. Onions growth rate back, so we'll be able to keep a constant rotation of these with 3 different rotations, and we'll be able to keep onions coming all year, all year season. Man, this field we tilled up here. And we don't have any vegetables or anything, but we planted wildflowers in this entire field here. So people will be able to come up and, cut flowers and stuff. There'll be fundraisers going towards the SFA and Ag program. And we do honey with the bees.
I was going to say the bees.
Yep.
Yeah, the wildflowers will help pollinate them as well, so the honey production will increase.
For those kids. This is our greenhouse. This is where we start all our starter cells and stuff. So, it gives them it's climate controlled. We're able to grow a lot more plants than what we would be able to. So we start all of our cells in here. This is where it starts, and then we'll move them out to the high funnels and out there. And it makes everything healthier. It makes it easier. We're able to grow more plants. So, yeah.
The greenhouse that we're planning to put in, this will be the same thing. Is it the same? Okay. Yeah. Except we're going to have Chris, the ag teacher that teaches here, he's out right now. He said we got to put in 4 drains. So in the concrete. In the concrete. Yeah, because that's one of the things I think that you may have said that we had. But that was actually one of my questions. Is it going to be the same style? Hopefully it'll be the same thing. Okay. Their students built on this. Green? Yeah. So these weeks they would build the one that's on the picture too. I wish they could. Oh, okay, that's all right. That's why I was. Yeah, we had to have get in for that. But the students here, they build everything.
Yeah, this was before my time, but this has been here in Hedgesville. It's a really neat program. Yeah. It gives the kids that aren't very good at the book work, and being able to sit in the classroom, but they excel because it's hands-on. They come up here, and it really teaches them it's just easier for some people to be able to come in and do it by hand. They're doing something, and they really excel. It's a really good class for some kids, and you learn life skills. How many people have to go there?
Exactly.
And some people don't know how to do it, and this teaches them to be able to self-sustain. So it's a really great thing.
Through the school days, and we have evening hours. Our last evening hour will be this Saturday from 8 to 2. We're going to set up with the Rumsey yard sale and hope that our foot traffic. But we've already done 3 of our evening hour sales as it is. The 8 to 2, as long as I'm here, but it's okay. Yeah.
So, how many houses do you have? This one?
Yes, that's one.
You need another one.
I'll say, you want to give me a bigger one?
You need another one. Yeah.
The vegetables, everything can go out. It's going to be based besides what we're thinking about, almost back this far, all the way down to the blacktop, and probably up to the little fence line to that tree up there. So hopefully large enough that we accomplish the growth of all the animal and vegetable production and flower that we can do. That's the goal.
And right now we're cutting and cleaning, and when we
Basically, what you want, if I understand correctly, is you want to be able to do all of your retail sales out of this new facility.
Yeah, and it'll increase that part of the ag that we were talking about in there, where the kids are really into the business side of it, the marketing side of it, the people-to-people contact, and not so much this side of it. It just hones in on the different varieties of the agriculture, and like you said, it's not just the farming side.
Yeah. You already put in the budget part of this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for that building.
For the material?
Yeah, they actually will build the building.
Right.
Yeah. So that is in the budget, yeah.
Excellent. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, we already got some refrigerator and freezers.
Yeah.
So we just need to get a building going.
And we can have a space, I'm sure we could integrate it into it, of having a space to where, so when we yield the vegetables, we take them into the classroom and clean them and, cut them and everything else to get them sale ready. And same with when we butcher the hams and bacon and sausage, we bring it back here and we have a vacuum sealer and we vacuum seal it all in the classroom. So when we're in the classroom vacuum sealing, we can't do classroom work.
Right, yeah.
You
need a dedicated space for it.
Yeah. So having that would also be very useful to have that as well.
Absolutely.
So, not a big plan.
I love the future planning that y'all done in order to put this together. So something to be proud of for sure. And I'm glad that we can be a part of it with you.
It's an exciting thing.
So is there a plan for a walk-in cooler? I mean, it sounds like that's what you're sort of missing when you're doing all these little residential.
I've never priced a walk-in cooler.
You can do it for about 15 to 20,000.
Okay, then probably so. I've just never priced one. Only thing we've ever done is
you
just
can do one
commercial.
You can do one about the size of that right there for about 15,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's probably what we should look at then.
I just think it'd probably be a little more efficient for everybody, So
Natasha and Chris Van Dyne are going to look about pole barns. I mean, that's one of the things I've asked them to start coming up with designs. We have talked about, once again, main thing is having that front sidewalk area, and easy access for people to park up front, and cells are right there.
Yeah. So it just gets these kids more involved with the public.
Absolutely.
Give them back.
Yep. I love it. I love the plans.
Very good.
We'll put them all in here, and then this is how we transport them and store them. But we actually use when we have hogs, we use the school lunch as scraps. The lunch ladies put the scrap waste in here, and we feed it to the pigs. So it's cutting down on the school's waste, with school lunches, and then we're producing something from it. So it's a really great thing. Obviously, with the pigs are in here, none of that stuff is in here. This is our chicken plucker. So when we butcher our chickens, we pluck them.
Have you used it yet?
Oh yeah,
I totally want to see that in action. Actually, you basically put that thing in there. You put that chicken in there, and it just flops that thing around there, and it pulls all those feathers off. I want to see that.
And actually, so on the back.
Next time you guys use it, tell me.
Can we go harvest the chicken now? I'm kidding. So the plan is, we built this gate. So
My chickens over there are all laying
the
right
ag
now.
students actually fabricated a scale that they built, which is actually very hard because
on a scale, everything has to be perfect. It has to be perfectly level, and they built it out of very thick metal tubing, and they built the whole scale, and it worked great. That's awesome. So there was a group of kids that learned how to fabricate that. And,
And that's a good paying job too. When you become a certified scale technician, too, you can go around.
So, and then this actually, the way we built this is for.
So the trailer come back right
The
up.
trailer can back right up here, and we can run these pigs off when we bring the butcher or when we unload them.
So the trailer will back in right over here.
Yeah, get them back in the trailer. Of course, we do apple butter. That's our apple butter shed. We keep everything there. And you can see where the burn marks are.
Now, where's the farmer's market building?
So, yeah, hopefully next year we wanted to put up the farmer's market booth right here. So,
Where the tree-
where the tree is, we would take that tree out, we'd move this building, and it would be this whole thing, this whole patch right here. And hopefully, we have some room to store some equipment. We call it refrigerator hall back there. We got, I think, four refrigerators, and then one commercial refrigerator and one commercial freezer back there. And it's just a bunch of refrigerators.
What do you need the refrigerators for?
So when we have these hogs, we take them over to Musselman and butcher them, and then we drawing a blank. We process the meat. So we season the sausage, we package the sausage, the hams, the bacon, and then we actually sell all that stuff out of here.
Oh, okay.
And we also sell the chickens that we.
So when you do your farmer's market, you want to have a place where you can sell it as well.
Yeah, we can put the fridges and freezers in there and have it to where people can come buy that. We can put our honey, apple butter, our vegetables, plants out there, and that way they can come in and.
So do you have a walk-in cooler here?
No.
You don't have a walk-in cooler. Okay.
We will have like a front, what we talked about is having like a large front porch.
Yeah.
Like a barn or a garage door, barn door that can go up, so that way they can wheel the vegetables, everything can go out. It's going to be based, what we're thinking about, almost back this far, all the way down to the blacktop, and probably up to the, let's say the little fence line to that tree up there. So, so hopefully large enough that we accomplish the growth of all the animal and vegetable production and flower that we can do. That's the goal.
And right now we're cutting and cleaning, and when
So
we
you basically, what you want, if I understand correctly, is you want to be able to do all of your retail sales out of this new facility.
Yeah, and
Turning
it'll
it like a little-
increase that part of the ag that we were talking about in there, where the kids are really into the business side of it, the marketing.
In the future, Hedgesville High School's FFA program hopes to have a few cows and build a farmer's market where people in the community can buy what they need. You can learn more about the Hedgesville FFA program by visiting their Facebook page.